Do you like the idea of being able to automate pretty much everything in your research paper? Well, if you do, and you're in the humanities disciplines like history, or if you're a biblical studies student or something like that, I'm here to show you how to do exactly that. Um, so you have to use a program called LaTeX to do this. This is something that engineering and math students know a little bit more about, and people who are in disciplines like history or biblical studies don't usually know too much about this. But I had a good friend show me how this works one time, and I am very happy that I learned how to do this because I can write Chicago-style papers uh, perfectly and automate everything, including the footnotes, the citations, the formatting, and I never have to worry about it. So I just wanted to show you how to do that, and I'll just go pretty much from start to finish how to do this. So the first thing that you would need is to get the program LaTeX. So let me open a sample page for you to do that. And so you would go somewhere like LaTeX Project or whatever, and you can download it for Linux or Mac or Windows. And so once you get that on your computer, you can go to my website to get the template for a LaTeX style, a LaTeX Chicago style paper. And I pretty much did all the work to try to find the materials for this to make this. So now you can just use it for yourself. You don't really have to do anything. Just keep the original formatting in the LaTeX file. And all you need to do is substitute it with your own material. So as you can see here on my webpage, you can download a text file that can be your template for writing a Turabian paper. The person who made the original version of this was named Omar Abdul, and I modified it to include the ancient languages Hebrew, Aramaic, Greek, and Coptic, so that you can write a paper and quote the ancient languages and be able to copy and paste Unicode characters so that they won't get messed up like would often happen if you were using Word or something like that. So if you look for this template and you download it, you have to download both this file, which is the actual text file that you would use to automate everything and to write your paper, and then you have to include this file, this little .sty file, in the same folder or the same directory as this file, because when I added the languages, I kind of messed up the formatting a little bit, and so Mr. Abdul created a patch for me, so I added it to my website. So you would click on this and then click on this to download them, and you could go to downloads and open this up, and now you're in LaTeX. So let's go through what's in the template so you can see how powerful this is for your own studies. The first part here is the document class, and this is just where you tell LaTeX what type of document you're writing. This is a Turabian research paper. Again, this is what Omar Abdul created. And then you add these packages, and make sure you include the bidi patch package that was this is what links the file to the .sty file that you had to download too. And these packages set up your fonts and what languages you have: English, Coptic, French, German, Greek, Hebrew. And then these are the fonts that you used. You have to make sure that you install the right fonts for the languages you're going to use. So my main font that I use for the English is this one, and then we have this font for Hebrew, we have this font for Coptic, that's Greek, not Hebrew, and then this font for Hebrew. Okay, and then you have your bibliography stuff. You have to make sure that you are using the Chicago version of BibLaTeX and using the Bibber part of the package too, and then link your bibliography file. So how exactly does this bibliography file work? This is your database of all your sources. This is how you automate all of your footnotes and your citations in your bibliography. So if you download the LaTeX program, if you have it on a Mac, you'll get this program called BibDesk, or some people refer to it as BibTech. But anyway, you can open this up, and you can add all the sources that you might use in something. So let me open up my bibliography. Mine's called jd.bib. And as you can see, here's the list, or an index of all of the sources that I have. So let's open one as an example. My advisor wrote this particular book, and the first thing that you can see here is that there is a little nickname or a cite key, and you would type this cite key in the actual document to cite that source, and then it will auto-generate a footnote for you when you produce the PDF file of your tech file. So you can see the title is here, and then the publisher, the year, the author, and the address. Okay, so let's get out of that for a second. We'll go back to it in a little bit, perhaps. But anyway, so that's what this is all about. This is the formatting for your title page. This will be your title, your subtitle, and you're the author, and then whatever course you're taking. And then put the date. Your document starts here. So just remember, if you download this template, all of this comes automatically. All you have to worry about is filling in the content yourself, and then just follow the little rules so that you can produce a correctly formatted Chicago-style paper. So as you can see, if you want to italicize something, you would write something like \emph, and then put it in the curly brackets. And if you want to cite your source or write a footnote, this is what I was talking about before. So we saw in BibDesk that we were looking at, I think I closed it, let me open it again. Okay. So we were looking at Dr. McCain's book. So if we wanted to cite this, we would just take this cite key and write it in the place where it is supposed to go, which would be here. Let's get rid of all of this. I was citing a different source, but I'm just for the purpose of demonstration. This is where you put the page number. Let's say we're citing page 50. And then we would just write McCain, Roll, 2003, and then close it in the curly brackets. If you want to add if you want to cite another source in the same footnote, you would just write see also. And then I can write something of my, well, I'll write one of my own works. There we go. Oh, and let me put a page number for mine. Let's just say I cited page 52 of my work. Okay, so that's how you would do a citation. Auto cites if you're doing multiple sources, and if you're citing just one source, auto cite. Okay. But anyway, here's another example. Auto cite of Whiston's translation of Josephus. Okay, so now let's see where the languages come in. So if you're wanting to be able to copy and paste a Hebrew or Greek or Coptic, you already have the instructions up here of what fonts to use and how to call which language it is. So you would, if you want to go stop using English here and you want to start using Hebrew here, you would do the \begin Hebrew and then copy and paste or type your Hebrew over here. And when you compile the document and produce the PDF out of all of this later, it will know to put this in the SBL Hebrew font, and it will put this in the default font. And then you can put a little footnote here. Oh dear, this is not Matthew 1:1 through 5, because we're looking at the Hebrew Bible here. This is actually Genesis 1:1. But anyway, Westminster Leningrad Codex is the little citation here. But anyway, so you can see the same thing is done with the Greek here. You just put in the language you're using in the curly brackets, and then put begin, and then put end. And then we can see the same thing with Coptic here. Begin Coptic, all the Coptic, and Coptic. But anyway, and you can see also that we divide the sections of the paper with different titles. You can do that too. And LaTeX will form that according to the rules of the Chicago Manual of Style. And then here at the bottom, you would do your little print bibliography thing, and that, when you compile the PDF and run Bibber, it will take all of your little auto cites, and it will turn them into a bibliography at the bottom. So we'll have your footnotes, and then it'll have your bibliography, and it does it all for you as long as you have your database set up already. And this has to be in the same folder, the same directory that this file is in too. Otherwise, LaTeX won't be able to find it. Okay, so now how do you turn this into the actual paper, right? That's an important question. So what we will do is the easiest way to do this is to open up your terminal if you're on a Mac, or whatever the equivalent is if you're on Windows, and you just navigate to the place that has your file. So in this case, I would write CD, which means go to that directory. Users, your locations will be different, obviously, but I'm just going to call them from here. Okay, so now I'm in my downloads directory. So the way that you turn all of this into a PDF is to write this command, xe LaTeX, name of the file, Turabian Bible paper.tex. Okay, now if you weren't using all the languages and stuff, you would just write PDF LaTeX, but since you have all these languages, the template needs you to do this in order to work. Okay, so now it's doing all this. As you can see, it's having a great little time. Okay, oh, I forgot to do something. I forgot to put the bibliography in the downloads folder. So remember, your bibliography has to be in the same place. I have a different. Okay, so remember, this is the bibliography that has all of the citations in it. So let me put this in downloads right here. Okay, so I had a little error there, so this should fix that. Let me try it again. Okay, Turabian Bible paper. Okay, so anyway, we're turning this into a PDF, but you can't open it after that because you have to do this. Write bibber and then the name of the file, but without the little ending. Oh, there are a bunch of dogs barking outside. I don't know if you can hear those, but anyway. Oh, and I made another mistake. Remember that your file name is the same. You have to change the name of your bibliography to match. So as you can see here, it needs to be jd.bib because the bibliography in the same folder is jd.bib. So I made that mistake, so please forgive me for doing that. Okay, let's start the process over. So you compile Turabian Bible paper.tex. We're waiting for it to finish. Okay, then we do bibber. I don't know if I remembered to save it. We'll see if I did. Okay, so now we'll compile one more time and hopefully we'll be able to make this work. Okay. And then you can command it to open Turabian Bible paper.pdf. Alright, so now this is what it looks like. Okay, so this is good. This is the PDF file that is produced based on all of this craziness that you did here. All of this tells the PDF how to make this look. So this would be the final version that you would turn into your professor. Okay, so you can see there's the title, all formatted exactly the right way, the author, the course, the date, and then you have your introduction. Notice how it indents the paragraph the way it is supposed to be in the Chicago style. There are footnotes. So let's see what's at the bottom of the footnote. Oh, see, it called the citation exactly perfectly according to the rules of CMS. And then it did this, see also, and then that's me, of course. the title of my thing, and the page right here. And then if you quote the same thing again later in a later footnote, it won't repeat the whole citation. It will just put author's last name, page number, like you're supposed to do in Chicago. It's amazing how much automation is involved with this. You don't have to write any of this yourself if you write your paper in LaTeX. So let's look at the languages now. As you can see, we have English, 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 and then it stops here. Here's the Hebrew. Absolutely perfect, and just is inserted seamlessly within your text. We can see the same thing with Greek, done very well here. Then here's our block quotation that we were talking about. Here's the Coptic. I mean, it looks very, very nice. Again, all the footnotes are at the bottom. Everything is looking great. You have your conclusion, and then at the bottom you have your bibliography and everything, and it just looks absolutely perfect. No problems at all. See, we didn't have to do any of this by hand. It was just, you just had to write all of this into your BibDesk file one time, and then it will remember it forever as long as you don't do what I did, which was forget to put the bib file in the same folder as your tech file. So anyway, once you get that, you turn in the paper, and that's all there is to it, and you are finished.